work today, I heard a couple people as I was passing by complaining about the fact that they got to put in so many hours. And I kind of sensed this was coming, now that we're coming out of the pandemic. This is post-pandemic fallout, so to speak, because once upon a time, there weren't any jobs and nobody could go anywhere. So this is the post-pandemic fallout, because what's happening is, even though COVID is still around but not at the level, the jobs are opening up. But the problem is that now that people have jobs, they're being overworked, so to speak, and now people are complaining about it. I have a job where, I have 40 hours a week, and I'm okay with that, and I don't have a problem with it. And some people who have jobs, they have more than 40 hours a week. Before the pandemic, I used to hear people complain about that they wasn't getting enough hours and that they wanted their bosses to give them hours. Now the same people are complaining about how they're getting too many. Well, I was taught when I was little, and I didn't put this into practice until many years later after I had to suffer financially numerous times, that you live off of preferably 4 days a week as opposed to 5, but live between 32 to 40 hours a week. In other words, if you have a full-time job, don't live beyond your means. Make sure that you have your budget organized based on what you're paid, and that's it. Don't live a penny beyond that, because there's no telling when a rainy day will come, regardless of your benefits or anything else. And if you have a side hustle, use that side hustle as a means, as an emergency fund, as a source of your retirement, or to take care of the extras. But don't use a side hustle as a means of your original means of support, because if your side hustle has to supplement your current job just for your basic means of support, then that means you need to get another source of income as a basic means of support, because that means your original job is not enough. You need to get something else. And if that means you need to level up by getting more training, more education, or more skills so you can get a better paying job, then that's what you need to do. Bottom line. I've heard some people complain about, well, I'm tired of doing so and so and so and so and so and so. Okay, well then, if you're tired of doing that and you've been doing the same thing for years and you're not getting anywhere, then you need to level up your skills. You need to consider maybe going to school or going to training into another trade so you can get another position somewhere else doing something else, so you won't be stuck behind the grill for another 10 years or behind the desk for another 10 years. Or maybe consider opening a business of your own if you have some sort of talent or some sort of skill that that's in demand for people. But either way, you're going to have to learn something additional in order to level up. You're going to have to do that if you want to get out of the situation that you're in. You can't complain your way out of a situation. It's not going to happen. It doesn't work that way. And so these people that are complaining about the extra time, they'll complain about the extra time, but they'll hit that time clock every day. And when it's time to get paid, they'll gladly go to the bank and they'll get that money and they'll spend it. But the thing is they'll get used to spending that money. And so the way the cycle goes, they'll sit there and complain about doing the extra time and how tired they are, but they'll do the extra time, get used to the money, spend the money, and then when the time is over with, but they don't get that extra time anymore and they're back to their regular time, their regular 40 hours a week, then they'll complain about, we can't get any more time anymore, and they'll complain about the fact they don't have any money anymore. You guys know these people, you know these situations. So here it is, the holiday season right now. We have a situation with my job where it's one of few employers in the area that's actually offering extra time during this time. And these people actually complain about extra time. So, in certain departments, not in mine, but in certain departments, people are complaining about having extra time. Yeah, they better grab it while they can, because what's going to happen is these same people, I can almost guarantee, that when the season is over with, they're going to be complaining about the fact that, they don't have that time anymore, because they've gotten used to the extra money that they were making and when they had to do the extra time. So you can't please anybody, bottom line. So I say this to say this. If your job offers you 25 hours, 35 hours, 40 hours, 50 hours, whatever the case may be, whatever your contract was for, understand that's what your contract was for, not a minute more. Budget accordingly. Anything extra, take on a side hustle. There are tons of side hustles out there that you can do. Take on a side hustle to get over the hump. And do not set up your primary expenses based on something that is above what your income is. If your income cannot afford that rent or those utilities, then you need to either downscale to a cheaper place or find a job that pays more money. That's the truth. That's the way it should be. Because depending on a side hustle to take care of your basics, you're going to be stuck working 2 and 3 jobs for the rest of your life. And I can tell you something. You have the energy to do it when you're 20 or 30 years old, but when you get in those 40s and 50s, it is not pretty. It is not a pretty sight. It is exhausting. And I know a lot of people who have taken on second and third jobs and say they're only going to do it for 6 months, and then you come back and it's 2-3 years later and they're still doing it because they're in a trap now. So it's best to just scale back or level up and get a better job or go into business for yourself than it is to try to take on a second income and put yourself in that type of a trap. So with that being said, I kind of hope this helps someone. Have a great day.